Hey guys, Unknown Knight here. Today we're going to have a first look at the Jimmy character pack from the Hardcore Henry pack. It's a free DLC released this week. If you haven't checked it out, there's a live trailer featuring the live action actors for the original crew. That means Hoxton instead of Houston, and also the Elephant and Shalto Copley, who's the actor and voice actor of Jimmy. The trailer is a bit confusing at the moment. I guess I'll be watching Hardcore Henry when it's showing, but that's beside the point. The heists will be released next week, so watch out for my first look video for that as well. Here's the link to Overkill's page if you haven't checked it out. So here's what we have in the Jimmy pack update. 2 masks, 1 melee weapon, new primary SMG Akimbos, and the same SMG as the secondary. Jimmy, the British or South African sounding insane guy just like Wolf, and lastly, a new perk deck, the Maniac. So as usual, a few bookmarks for you to skip ahead or something like that, and a bookmarks button at the bottom if you want to return here. So first, let's take a look at the masks. This is what you'll be looking at. This is Jimmy himself and his duct tape mask. But if you're looking to mod it, you have to find it under the infamous tab. You can see that there are 2 different masks. But the first is the Jimmy mask, which is basically just duct tape if you watch the trailer. That's pretty much what it looks like. You have to get this as a drop before you can actually customize it. And the second mask, the White Death, looks like he got some help from Gage to do it, and it sort of represents the Grim Reaper snorting coke. So here's what it looks like. He even has a nosebleed right there from too much snorting, I guess. And that's what we have for the masks. And now we're going to look at the Akimbo header submachine guns and the header submachine gun secondary. Stats wise, they are pretty much the same. Let's just take a look here. You can actually see that the secondary has 10 threat while the Akimbo version has 9. And other than that, all the other stats are the same. Okay, so I have 5 versions here. I have 5 sets of them here. One is the stock set, one is the non-DLC set, the non-DLC with suppressor, the one with best consumer stats, and the DLC version. Slots wise, both of them are exactly the same, except that the secondary can be fitted with a sight. And let's see what can we mod the Akimbo header submachine guns into. So firstly, they are the standard barrel extension, the standard boost, and this is where it gets interesting, the single fire and the auto fire, gadgets, and the stock. So unique to the header submachine guns would be the Tishina suppressor, which is a better version of the medium suppressor, a -2 instead of a -3 damage, and a +8 stability instead of the +4. And it also has the stock unfolded stock, which is a good +8 to stability and no consummation changes or any accuracy changes. So this is, well, we'll definitely use this. So let's take a look at the non-DLC version. For the non-DLC version, we'll be going, since it's a SMG, we'll try to get, we are aiming for high stability instead. So what we have here is for the non-DLC version, the higher stability is the stubby compensator, and with a stability boost of +4, the LED combo gadget, and the unfolded stock. It gives us a final value of 60 stability, and it hits the 40 breakpoint, and the accuracy is at 52, so it's more of a close to medium range weapon as usual. And for the silenced version, it is exactly the same, except with that we're using the Tichina suppressor. Now usually people would fit it with the bigger the better suppressor, but the bigger the better suppressor only has a +4 to stability. So if you actually want more accuracy, which at the end is just a 60 accuracy, so it depends on your choice. Would you like it a bit more accurate or a bit more stable? You can either choose between the Tichina suppressor or the bigger the better suppressor. And for the concealed version, the base concealment is at 25, and since none of the mods actually give a boost to concealment, the only thing that we can use to boost the concealment is the concealment boost. Yeah, that sounded stupid, but yeah. And the stubby compensator, because there's no hit to our concealment. And for the gadget, if you do not own the gauge mod career, we'll do fine without it. Otherwise, you will have no gadgets at all, or you could take the -1 hit to your concealment just to have that laser, so that you can aim better with the Akimbos. Now the secondary version is the same. I have the same 4 versions, they have the same setup. The only difference is that it has an extra sight and it does not have the stability penalty from the Akimbo. So basically it is the exact same, 44 plus 36 from the extra sight, which gives a +4 and -2 concealment. Stats wise, the headed submachine gun has 3 other SMGs that are very similar to it, which is the Thompson or the Chicago typewriter submachine gun, the Para submachine gun, and the Uzi submachine gun from the Hotline Miami DLC. Here's a few comparison videos for you to actually see the handling of the submachine gun. Let's head on to the safe house and shoot up some stuff with our new weapons. Okay, so all our new toys. Whoop. Okay, so we have first the melee knife, specialist knives. For a quick step, they are looking pretty fine. It's just a matter of preference. And charge up. Yep, so that's pretty much it. Nothing special with the knives. And let us try out the secondary. If you are at close range with a good burst shot and aim at a head, you can take out about 6 regular enemies. About 6 if you are playing on Overkill and below. A pretty handy SMG. But that would be a different case for the Akimbo version. Okay, so general feedback has been that there is a huge amount of recoil, so let's take a look at this. If we do aiming at just the body, it actually goes up to the head by the time I'm done with just a quick pull of the mouse button. So looking at that, the Akimbo version at auto fire has a really huge recoil. So It's best used for maybe short distances, like within from this wall to the other wall. Even at this distance, it's pretty hard to get a headshot. Seem to be missing real good. And there's no single fire mode as well. So now let's switch on. Okay, maybe before that, let us try at a full burst without releasing the trigger. Okay, so the recoil is pretty insane on this. Let us try out the single fire version with the weapon pack single fire mod. And here we have the single fire version, which is pretty much like just the Akimbo pistols but with a high magazine. Yep, and there we have it. The Akimbo header SMG submachine guns and the secondary header submachine gun. Go try it out and let me know on whether you enjoyed this new submachine gun. And we'll look at the Jimmy character itself next. Alright, let's now check out Jimmy and how he's like. So we know that Jimmy is a cokehead. If you look closely on his hands under the gloves, you can see white powder all over on the textures. And let's listen to a few stealth sound bites.
God, stay back.
Make the cops think twice about coming in here.
Oh, fuck me. No, sorry lads. I think I just swallowed a bug. It's all good, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, control, roger, over and out.
Sometimes taking a hostage is the only answer.
No, sorry lads, just a false alarm. Just Leroy fucking around. Leroy, quit fucking around, man. We got it! Woohoo! Get fucking down! I didn't say move. If you think about it, it's probably the most exciting thing that ever happens to you. Stay still. What part of don't move don't you understand, man? I don't know why, but I really don't like your face. Turn away from me. I didn't say move. Stay down. Don't fucking move.
And now we get a few loud sound bites.
It's a turret! The fuckers brought a turret! Drop your fucking weapon, mate. Hands up, you cunt. Drop your weapon, mate. Drop your fucking weapon, mate. Put 'em up.
Good luck.
Motherfucking taser! Taser! Drop your weapon. That's fucking electric! Fuck you, taser! Oh, fuck all of you! Taser is dead! Shield! Got the shield! Fucking cunt shield is dead! Fucking move! Hey! Wait! Follow
Only
me!
2 of you at a time up the zip.
I will prepare the helicopter.
Come on, let's go. You got sniped, not me, mate.
Fucking sniper.
Take that, you sniper bitch! We got a cloaker! Fuck you, cloaker! Bulldozer's got nothing on me!
So you can actually tell that he sounds like a British version of Wolf. And lastly, we have the new perk deck, the Maniac. Let's take a look at how it works. If you watch the explanation video by Overkill, it can be a bit confusing. So basically, every 4 seconds you can deal a maximum of 600 damage, and 40% of it, which is 240, will be converted into a Hysteria stack and added to your stack. The maximum amount of stack is 600, and if you have the full deck, every 4 seconds a maximum of 240 damage, which you have to deal 600 damage, will be converted to your stack, and it decays 60% plus 60% of your current stack, not of the full stack. So 60% plus 40 of your Hysteria stack will decay every 8 seconds. And for your crew, they will absorb 1 damage for every 25 stacks you have. At a maximum of 600 stacks, that would be 24 damage. And for yourself, you have an increased absorption by 50%. That would mean that you can absorb up to 36 damage if you have the full stack. So to demonstrate that to you, I'm gonna use a HUD. That will be the Poco HUD. So let us look at the damage up. We're gonna remove the damage that we deal, so that, let me see, are we able to show duration, number size? Okay, no, I don't think we can. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna disable my damage indicators. Alright, so I'm gonna disable my damage indicators and show you the amount of damage that they sustain, which then gets converted to a Hysteria stack. Let us do Birth of Sky. Where's that? Okay, Birth of Sky has a confirmed dozer spawn with a lot of Murkies, which have 340 HP, so we can get a very reasonable. We can fill up our stacks. Things first, the Hysteria stack represented by a white bar inside your health bar, which is something like the ex-president's storage bar, but you would see a blue bar on either your shield or covering your health when your armor there will be a blue bar which will cover over your armor, or it will cover over your health when your armor is broken. That represents the amount of damage absorption that will take place when you get hit. So let us take a look. ICTV now, so you can't really see on it's very short. For example, you see now we have an empty stack, and we're gonna fill it up.
Get those doors open. The switch is right there.
Wait, are we on Death Wish? Why do they only have 240?
Superb. The cache is loaded on pallets.
We are at like 66% of Hysteria stack, and that's the amount of
Controls are up above you. You see?
just drop. So that's the amount of
Get to the stairs at the front of the aircraft, and then
damage absorption we have. Alright, so now at a full stack I'm getting 0 damage from... Come into a replay later, you'll see that I'm getting 0 damage dealt. So in fact I'm getting a 0 damage dealt right now. Hi, no damage at all. Okay, that melee hit. Yep, but I'm pretty much invincible right now. They're dealing 0 damage as long as I'm... Or rather, just a 66% stack and I'm getting a full... Wait, yeah, I'm on Death Wish, but... Side point that I'm mostly 0 damage on my indicator. Right with the dozer to see how it goes. Right, there we have the dozer. Just a big guy. Alright. Let us wait for our... Do that. Murky. Right, so you see the blue bar over our health. Okay. Okay, so let's see how much damage we take from one shot of the dozer. Okay, there you see 100, another 100. Oh no, it went down.
Just fight to the front of the plane, up the stairs, and then all the way back. It's the only way to reach those controls.
Oh, I died. Alright, so let's go for quick playback. I'm gonna slow it down so you can actually see how it works. Alright, so we can see the Hysteria stack as a white bar and the damage reduction as a blue bar. It updates every 4 seconds and at every 8th second interval. It will decay first for 60% of your current stack, not the total but the current stack, plus 40 before adding the new stack. Let's do a quick pause here. Okay, so right now we are getting hit for 1.1 damage with about a 55% stack. Let's resume and see what happens with a higher stack. With our stack at about 90%, now you can see the blue bar over our armor is pretty high, and the Murkies are hitting us for 0 damage. That's right, no damage at all, and we are on the Death Wish difficulty. So that's Maniac for you. It works very well against lower damage rapid fire weapons like SMGs and lower end rifles like the JP4 the Murkies are using. But of course, we'll still have issues with high-powered weapons like the snipers and the bulldozers. So let's skip ahead to the bulldozer fight. And again, another pause right here. So now we have an empty stack and the skulldozer is hitting us for 100 damage. And resuming the video. After getting a bit of stack, another pause here, we see that he hits us for 90 and then 81. And the remainder of the replay you have already seen. So to summarize, Maniac gives a flat damage reduction, which at maximum stack reduces 36 damage from yourself and 24 damage for your crew. As long as you do 600 damage every 4 seconds, you will max out your stack in 5 intervals of 4 or about 20 seconds. So just like the Gambler and Crew Chief, it's a nice support deck for your crew. You can try it out sometime and let me know how it goes for you right in the comments. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video on the Jimmy pack. Sorry for being a little late on this, but stay tuned for the Hardcore Henry Heist first look video, which will be due later this week. Unknown Knight here, signing off.